Hello, everybody. Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is 17th of December, 2021. It's a Friday. And if you want to subscribe, then click on the subscription button below here on the lower right, and also the notification bell on the far upper right to be notified when new episodes are released. Today's topic is "You Are the Enemy." After removing a trio of Confederate historical markers an hour west of Gettysburg, the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission has replaced two with significant revisions that view Confederate milestones through a more critical lens. Confederates are now referred to as, quote, the enemy, close quote. Two have been revised to position the Union Army more centrally to the historical narrative and to depict the Confederates as a destructive invading force. The third item, a bronze plaque dedicated by so-called neo-Confederates before the commission had gained oversight, was not replaced. The so-called neo-Confederate group that put that plaque up is the United Daughters of the Confederacy. Now, one of the other plaques also erected by the UDC originally read, "Two Confederate soldiers killed June 29, 1863 in a skirmish with Union soldiers were buried here by local residents." Now, the commission replaced it with one reading as follows. "During the invasion of Pennsylvania by the Confederate Army, raiding parties crossed into Fulton County to steal horses, livestock, and supplies." You see, the Yankees never did that. On June 29, 1863, Union troops of the 1st New York Cavalry attacked the enemy soldiers, killing 2, injuring several, and taking 32 prisoners, including the captain. These were the first Confederate soldiers killed in battle on Pennsylvania soil, and they were buried here by local residents. Now, some Pennsylvanians object to these changes, including 3 area Republican legislators: Representative Jesse Topper, Representative Park Wentling, and he happens to be on that commission that made these changes, and Senator Judy Ward. Representative Topper called the state's review of the historical markers as a solution in search of a problem. Representative Wentling said, "The problem dates to 2018, when the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission began an effort to instill diversity, equity, inclusion, and access efforts into its internal operations, which bled over into a revisionist historical review of the markers through the ideological diversity, equity, inclusion, and access lens, rather than one dedicated merely to historical significance." Moreover, many area residents have opposed the changes. In 2017, when this was up for public discussion, the public opinion newspaper in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, talked to many and found there was little or no clamor over the markers or the Confederate monument in Fulton County. So there you have it. Just imagine if when the monuments in Atlanta and in Georgia were set up, and they described Sherman's army as arsonists. They didn't. It was divisive. They wouldn't have done that. But oh no. The Pennsylvania Commission describes the Confederate soldiers as horse thieves, cattle thieves, and I don't know, whatever else you might include with that kind of a description. As though, as I pointed, as though the Union soldiers never did anything like that below the Mason-Dixon line. Now, what can we do about this? Well, one is you can contact those legislators who are favorable and thank them. The second thing you can do is contact Governor Wolf of Pennsylvania and tell him that you don't like this. It's divisive, and it makes an enemy out of those of us who respect our Confederate ancestors. And the third thing you can do is boycott the National Battlefield Parks, and especially boycott the Gettysburg Guides. They have influence, and they have said they will try to protect the monuments on the battlefield. But if they had spoken out against this kind of stuff, there would be no challenge to the battlefield monuments. They have just stood by. What they really are doing, the Gettysburg Guides, they are trying to protect their own pocketbook. They know that if the Confederate monuments are removed from Gettysburg, that a lot of people from the South are just not going to want to go there anymore. And that will impact their pocketbook. But some things, some principles are more important than your immediate income. And there's really no way of getting around it other than to go out on a limb and state your principles. Well, the Gettysburg Guides have stated their principle. They want your money, but they don't care about your ancestors. Okay, so that's pretty much our show for today. I wanted to bring to your attention one of my books, The Confederacy of Blood Tide. You can get it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. I think you'll like the book. But on top of that, if you could just go out there and give it a 5-star review, it would really be helpful. So I want to thank you if you will do that. I appreciate it. And again, that's our show for today. I'll be talking to you soon.